Highly Caffeinated Movies coming at you with our 7th podcast. This week we're recommended hidden horror gems, horror movies that we all feel are worth watching, kind of lesser known horror movies on popular streaming platforms. This week for coffee we're featuring the Hawaiian Kona blend. From World Market. It's grown on the volcanic slopes in the Kona district of Hawaii. So you got good volcanic soil that we're drinking. I'm sure that...
Very good for you.
Yeah, I'm sure that's great.
It's got to be healthy.
A lot of antioxidants and whatnot in that. So this is the coffee this week.
I'm enjoying it.
It's very good. I would highly recommend it. So what did...
Pick it up at World Market. They're a corporate chain. I think they're nationwide, so it's pretty easily to get their coffee.
They actually have a lot. Most of their coffee that I've gotten there is pretty good.
Yeah, we got another bag to try too. I figure they have a good variety of stuff that's not. If you go to the grocery store, you don't have as much to choose from.
Yeah, they do. So check it out.
World Market.
So this week we picked all horror movies. Like I said in the previous episode, we're all horror fans, so we wanted to do a all horror episode. All right, I guess we'll get into the picks
horror
this
movies.
week.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who's up first?
We're going to talk about my pick this week first. Veronica. Currently streaming on Netflix. It came out in 2017, and it is... basically, this teen girl, she is the mother of the house, kind of. Her mother, I believe her father has passed away.
Yeah, correct.
And the mother works 2 jobs or works 1 job at the bar, but she's out all night. So she can't really take care of the little kids that they have. I think there's 2 twins that are maybe 8 or 9 years old, and then a younger son that's maybe 4.
Yeah, he looks about 4.
So Veronica is the teenage daughter, I think she's around 16, who takes care of the younger kids. Basically is their mother.
Yeah,
because
that's
the mother's
tough,
always
man.
working.
You can see her struggle in the beginning, like to get everybody dressed and ready and
Right.
breakfast and all of that at 16. Like I couldn't do that at 16.
No, definitely not. I definitely didn't have the responsibility.
No.
I'm not sure Corey could do that kind of thing right now.
I do that all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's very responsible.
I am a very responsible adult.
Mm-hmm.
Although I can barely do it.
Yeah.
So, it's not easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this, I really enjoyed the character of Veronica from the beginning. And where the story goes is her and her friends at school, they start messing around with a Ouija board. Your typical
It is also a Spanish movie, so...
That's right.
It's all subtitles.
You put in the notes that it was the first official police report in Italy. It's like,
Oh,
it wasn't in Italy.
One, yeah.
So after...
it didn't bother me that it was subtitles at all. I still liked them.
No.
The only reason subtitles bother me is because I have to actually sit down and focus, and it's hard to watch the movie and the subtitles.
That's
But
true.
with your movie,
It didn't.
I understand Spanish a lot better than I understand
the
most
dialogue
other
didn't
languages.
move too fast, so it wasn't that hard to keep up. Some movies, it's a little more difficult to keep up.
Yeah, I found it a little bit harder to watch one of my movies than this one.
Yeah.
But I also know more Spanish, so I can...
You're fluent in Spanish?
Not fluent, but I can...
Well, you work construction, right?
Yeah, there's a...
That makes sense.
But anyway, they're messing around with the Ouija board, and
Always a safe thing to do.
that's kind of a very common thread in a lot
The
of
movie also
possession
takes place, it's based on true events that take place in 1991, so they do kind of try to make the setting to be 1991. So there's really
1990s, the Ouija board was
there's
very
no
popular.
cell phones, or there's
Right.
no nothing like that, and everything's kind of 90s.
which
They did a good
worked in
job
his
at
favor
that.
here. Yeah, I enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the 90s period style of
I enjoyed the music.
the
I didn't
music.
know anything they were saying in the songs, but I enjoyed the music. Even the score, I enjoyed.
The score and the music,
were
were both
combined
very
were very
good. The score,
The score, like
Like
whenever
another
when they're
movie?
going to the school and stuff.
yes.
Yeah, that was really good. I was like, this
Very 80s
Yeah.
synth retro feel to
Yeah.
it. Very creepy. I really enjoyed that also. And just to kind of sum up the end, they mess with the Ouija board, and stuff happens, and just any possession movie, you kind of know where it's gonna go towards. But that's just kind of the whole plot of the movie. Basically, it takes part over 3 days, and it's just like the first day is the Ouija board experience, and then more supernatural elements happen.
It just progresses.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, like you were saying about the score, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the music. I really enjoyed the actress who played Veronica.
Yeah, she is great. Yeah, at 16, like she's awesome.
I believe
she was so believable when she was just terrified.
And they very well encapsulated what family life was probably like for a person like that.
Right.
The dynamic between all the children and her and the conversations.
Like
I felt like I was just inside of a normal family's home.
Yeah.
They really did a great job.
You could tell the mom was struggling because the dad passed away. So she's trying to have him survive on just
actually for the first part of the movie. I thought that both the dad and the mom had died.
No,
because she was never home.
And I was like, oh, is she? That's her mom. And when she goes to the diner or whatever she's working at, it's like, oh, that's her mom. I didn't know that she was real.
She exists.
Yeah, she worked a lot, so she was kind of a back. She was.
Yeah, the only scenes with her, like I think there was just one 10-second scene where she's at home.
Yeah.
Every other time you see her, she's at work.
Yeah, mostly sleeping.
Yeah,
she works all night. Yeah. But I really liked the actress. Really enjoyed her performance. Really enjoyed, and I find like a lot of movies, American movies, and just movies in general, don't capture that family dynamic as well as this movie did.
Yeah.
You have like these fake family conversations, which nobody ever talks like that in real life in a lot of Hollywood movies. But in this, it was all very grounded.
A lot of them, they're just all the same. All the possession movies, and just I'm over it. Like I've seen enough of them.
And I usually am too. I don't really. And then watching this again, I really enjoyed it the first time I watched it, and then watching it again, I was like, I still really like this movie.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of supernatural horror in general. I'm more like
Hack
slashers and the thrillers, those types of movies. But this,
I enjoyed it.
It really struck a chord again with me the second time I watched it. And I was like, man, the actors for me are what really, the child actors, Veronica.
Yeah, I mean, even the little kids did good.
I really enjoyed their performance. Her name is Sandra Escacena.
I think this was her first movie, too.
First movie, and she's only done a few things.
She's even more impressive.
I really enjoyed her performance, and she, to me, is what really pulls this together and makes it worth watching as a possession movie.
Yeah, she carried it.
I think so.
I mean, if she did bad, this movie would have gone nowhere.
And I don't think it relied too much on jump scares with the music.
No, it didn't.
And the just supernatural elements that they had in the movie. There was a few times I was like, I kind of got a little. I had a few scares myself.
I didn't really jump at all. I was like, that was good. That was done really well.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like I guess we'll wait to talk about that.
Well, yeah. A lot of people, though, online tend to, say that a lot of movies these days rely on jump scares with loud music.
Yeah, they throw the loud music at you real quick.
Yeah, something soft.
Yeah. Just to make you jump.
Yeah.
But this
did not.
You were very tense, and the way that they did everything, I thought was very well done.
Yeah.
Very tense and very scary.
Solid.
The director, Paco
Plaza. That's a good name.
Paco Plaza. I've actually never seen the Record movies.
Me either.
Have you seen those?
No, I have not.
Apparently, that's what he's known for.
Yeah.
I think it's. I want to say it's a.
At 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's did all of them, but he wrote and directed this.
I think he did. Paco Plaza. It's fun to say.
Yeah. Paco, another good name.
Yeah, really good name.
Along with Nacho.
Nacho and Paco. Ooh, we have twins. Nacho and Paco.
Nacho.
Lainey's gonna like
Shout out Lainey. Nacho and Paco.
You name all your children after direct foreign directors.
Foreign directors. Yeah.
He did one recently for Netflix also. I think he must have a contract with Netflix or something like that. He did Eye for an Eye.
I hadn't seen it.
Which is another Spanish, I believe. that one looks kind of good. I may end up checking that one out
Yeah.
soon. Yeah,
because I enjoyed this enough. I'd watch something else he did.
Yeah. I was actually curious to know if you guys were gonna like this one.
I liked it. I had seen it whenever it came out.
So you had watched it already.
Yeah. I watched it when I did because when it came out, there was like articles like this is like the scariest movie anybody's ever seen. Like people are not even making it through it, and I watched it. I'm like, it's not that scary. I mean, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Like
That's
there was
what
just
I
like
would
these
say.
clickbait articles
I saw-
that sold me on it. And
I saw
and I
articles
fell
like-
for it, but I still enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
I saw articles like that for my movie, and I was like,
Yeah.
They said
Yeah,
they,
no,
a
they always
famous
do that.
critic
They always
almost
do.
walked
All
out
it takes
on
is
the
like
movie.
one person that like over
Like
sensationalized
a famous horror critic almost walked
Right.
out on my movie because he was too scared.
Yeah, I saw that review, and then I was watching it, and I was like,
No.
get it.
They paid him for that one.
I
They were like, "Here's $100 bill."
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't say this was super scary. I was
No.
scared.
It's just a good horror movie.
That's a perfect
Yeah.
way to describe it.
As long as you don't mind subtitles and you can keep up with reading, it's a really good one.
The writing I thought was well done. I think this was based, like you said in the beginning, on a true story. Reading a little bit more about the true story, it's very different from the movie.
I didn't look into it, but
It's loosely based,
on the police report.
very loosely based on the true story. Basically, what happened in the true story was the part where Veronica was at school doing the Ouija board stuff. That was right. A teacher barged in and broke up the seance. One of the girls, her classmates, said that she saw like smoke going into her mouth and her nose whenever the glass broke. When she broke the Ouija board.
Yeah.
Other than that, the daughter, I believe, had both parents at home in the real story.
Gotcha.
And she kept saying she was seeing shadows and, figures.
Shadow people were after.
Yes. And she was going kind of crazy, and then she got put into a hospital and actually died in the hospital. They had no idea why.
Interesting.
No clue as to why she passed away in the hospital.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the movie, but
No. But they did say the parents also didn't report any of that until over a year after she died, when they started having things happen in their house. Like their house became haunted, and that was what was put into the police report and documented by detectives.
I got you. I see.
So they combined both stories. Hers combined with what the parents said a year later.
He kind of put it all together in a package that would make sense for a movie and would be entertaining. But as far as based on a true story, I wouldn't take what happens in this movie. But there was a person, not named Veronica, but there was a Veronica. She became obsessed or possessed with something and ended up passing away from unknown causes.
Okay.
So that's kind of the true story behind it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I would really recommend this if you are a fan of horror. You don't mind reading subtitles.
Yeah.
Very good possession movie. Even if you're burnt out on possession or you don't really care for supernatural horror like myself, I would highly recommend it. I think it's definitely worth a watch. It's currently streaming on Netflix. My grade for this one would probably be a B+. That's what I would give this movie.
I would actually give it a B. Like you said, I just really enjoy it. It's not excellent, but it's a good watch. Like I wasn't bored. Even the second time, I still enjoyed it. So it didn't seem like it was old or like I was bored with it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a story that's been done. I know I talk a
it's
lot about
nothing original, but
I talk a lot about on this podcast. I like new, fresh ideas, and I'll give a movie a bump up if it's a new original idea. This is not that at all.
No.
But it's so well done by the director.
Agreed.
And the actress in this that
I don't think it's good enough to be an A, but I think it's a solid B.
Yeah. This is a great example of what you can do with a concept that's been done before, but do it very well and make it entertaining.
Right.
I'd give it a B. I got a few scares, a few chuckles, a little bit of everything in this movie, and like you said, the directing was the whole directing, writing was all very good. They took a story that wouldn't have made a good movie. They changed it, made it a good movie. So it's not.
I mean, do you like that kind? Do you like possession, supernatural horror? I mean, a lot of people like that.
Oh yeah.
I'm just it's not my favorite. You know, it's not my subgenre of.
As far as horror goes, supernatural, not as much as
You're more of the slasher as well.
yeah, because they just.
Well, I mean, Hollywood went on this like possession and like ghost thing for like a long time, and that's all that was coming out for years.
Yeah, once like The Grudge and Ring came out, like when we were in high school,
yeah,
the
they just
Paranormal Activity movies like really kind of set it
That
off,
too.
and that's just like The Conjuring, and they just all went. And they were just doing the same movie over
See,
and over.
but
yeah,
I grew up on movies that came out in the 80s and 90s that are more.
That was more slasher era though,
and
That's
that's
what they're
just what I'm more in tune to.
yeah, I agree.
I think we're all in the same.
So
there.
so I guess that one gets a
That's
solid B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. I think that's about accurate. That's a good movie.
I would highly recommend it again if you're a fan of horror and you don't mind subtitles. Again, some people will be turned off.
I actually kind of want to go check out the score.
Yeah.
See if it's on Amazon or something.
Yeah, we'll be talking about another movie in another podcast that had a really good score. Very similar in vibe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so be sure to check out the spoiler portion of this movie at the end of the episode. All right. Welcome to the spoiler portion of the Highly Caffeinated Movies podcast. We're going to try again to keep the spoiler portion combined with the original review. So we're going to get into spoilers right now for our very first movie that we talked about on the podcast, Veronica. So, spoilers of Veronica.
She died.
She passed.
That's it.
Boom.
That's the spoiler.
I told you this one would be short.
Well,
no, there's a lot to happen.
How she so
it slowly shows her downfall.
Yeah, I really I don't even remember. Basically Veronica, as we talked about earlier, is a possession movie. Her and her friends are playing with the Ouija board.
I would use the term friends very loosely after.
They were her friends until after
the Ouija board. They were just like, nah.
But because apparently there's a scene with one of her friends that says that Veronica whispered something in her ear that she was going to die.
You don't hear it until you don't find that out till later in the movie though.
Yeah. And we don't see that happen on screen. Yeah. So we don't know about it as an audience, so we don't know why her friends are kind of being standoffish from her. You
just think they're teenage girls being terrible friends.
Exactly. You think they're teenage. Yeah, that's correct. And we don't really know why, but then she tells her that at a party. And Veronica's like, I don't remember saying that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, basically.
That's probably why they didn't show it. Because they wanted from her point of view.
I like the creepy nun.
And she didn't know she said it. So
what'd they call the creepy nun?
Grandma Death.
It was Grandma Death. Sister Death.
Sister Death. Yeah, Sister Death. Yeah, Grandma Death was.
Did you? I'm surprised you didn't have more love for this movie because there was nuns in it.
Yeah,
and how much you really loved the new nuns.
Y'all talked way more than I did on that. All I did was follow the plot.
They all had their clothes on though.
All I did was follow the plot, and y'all were like, "Oh, he knows so much about the movie." I was like, "No, y'all knew way more than I did."
Yeah,
y'all just couldn't figure out how.
I'll find another nun maybe to throw in for you somewhere.
But I liked. I did like whenever
semi-dong in this movie.
Was there?
Yeah, it's in the shadow.
Yeah, the shadow creature was naked.
Jeez, we really are.
Yeah, you don't really see anything.
We're batting 1,000 on this.
But I saw it and I was like, oh, I didn't catch that the first go around. But it doesn't really show anything.
See, we were talking earlier about about it doesn't rely on jump scares or anything like that. I know whenever she's in the room and she's got that flashlight, she turns around and she shines up on what is supposed to be her father.
Yeah.
On his face.
Right.
Every other movie would have made you jump. They would have thrown that music in there. They would have done whatever they could to make you jump. That was scary, but it wasn't jump scary.
Yeah.
That's right.
Jump scares are kind of cheap.
I really liked. I thought they did the scenes very well with the haunting stuff. There's a part also where the mattresses, there's like a black.
Yeah, that was kind of creepy.
So whenever towards the end, when she's looking at one of the mattresses, the black stain that's on the back of it, she goes to touch it, and like a hand comes out through the mattress. Yeah. That got me pretty good.
Yeah. That was a good
I wasn't. I don't know what I was expecting, but it scared.
And it was over 3 days, but it was like each day gradually got worse. It was very. They did a really well job.
It starts out quick.
Yeah.
So like the Ouija board scene is like the second scene in the movie, and then it's full on blast. Yeah.
I didn't want to waste time.
No.
Well, going back to the true story, also they said that was like the stuff with Veronica in real life was over a period of months, not 3 days. I don't know why they chose to.
Well, it makes it a better movie.
Better movie, yeah.
Build more suspense.
Other scenes that stick out. Again, I loved all the scenes with the little kids and Veronica.
Those twins were.
I just loved their interaction. They just felt like a family. I've never felt.
Like the little twins arguing over who has to do something.
Yes.
They do rock, paper, scissors.
They captured that perfectly.
Yeah, they did.
They're like the little girl
the
starts
little
dancing.
boy in it. I can't remember his name now, though.
With the glasses?
Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah.
So possession. She starts seeing stuff in the apartment that they live in. She's finding out that she's almost the one doing these things, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a scene where she sees a figure choking her younger sister, and she feels like she got the spirit away from her younger sister, but the younger sister keeps saying that she was the one choking her.
Yeah.
So you kind of get this after that, and then when the friend tells her that she whispered that she was going to die tomorrow in her ear, you start getting the impression that Veronica was doing these things.
She's blacking out during
She was possessed.
Yes.
Doing it, yeah.
So
well, at the end, she puts it all together. Yeah. She starts realizing she goes through like a series of events that happened during the movie.
She tries to and
realizes she was the one doing it.
I mean, she tries to warn her mom and everything, and there's nothing.
Yeah, she can't be bothered.
I have to work.
Yes.
She don't want to be bothered by it. She's like, I can't afford this.
I can't afford for you to be possessed by a ghost right now.
We can't afford this. We don't have that kind of health insurance.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can get that kind of
What happens in the I cannot remember for the life of me what happens in that very last scene when the detective walks in.
Like she's
what he sees.
Like she's like bent over backwards and her mouth's like wide.
Basically
open.
in a position that you
would
not be able to stand as a human.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
so she's like contorted and
like we see the spirit over her, but he just sees her contorted in this like weird stance that isn't. I mean, well, I guess it's humanly possible, but it's just not.
She only had like a couple of toes on the ground.
I'm sure there's like 2 people in the world that can do that.
Were the other children, did they survive?
All the other kids survived.
Right, yeah. I was just making sure. For some reason, it's fuzzy for me.
They found the 2 girls had gotten out.
Yeah.
And then the boy was hiding in the closet, and the police found him.
Yeah, the police found him because he was just sitting there, had his ears closed, and he was just repeating that little
song.
Saying,
That's right.
Yeah, he's a good little kid though.
Yeah, I liked his Coke bottle glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Remind
you of Gunner?
Yeah, remind me of Gunner and you.
Shut up.
There's really not much to spoil.
No,
as far as the plot goes.
I mean, she during the possession at the end where it gets worse, she calls the police, and that's why the police show up, and the police walks in while she's contorted in that thing, and then she slits her own throat.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
She gets a piece of the mirror or whatever that was broken, just she ends it.
Yeah.
Not just contorted, she's like screaming.
Yeah. Like mouth
guttural,
wide open,
deep voice, like. Something that a 16-year-old
I don't know
girl
why I
should not
cannot remember
like.
that because it's like I remember it as you're describing it, but I for the life of me, I couldn't remember. Maybe I was falling asleep or
That was
something.
the end of it, yeah. It was late night, man.
Yeah.
That was a lot of reading all them subtitles.
That's right. It wore me
Put
out.
you to sleep.
But yeah, I really don't know what else to spoil as
there's
far as
not a
plot. It's very simple. Again, a girl,
Was it-
Ouija board. She starts being haunted, possessed, and then
When are we gonna get us a Ouija board? Wanna do
we
one?
should do
Let's do
that.
I'm in.
I mean, I've never heard of anything bad happening.
No, that happens. It's fine.
It's just so funny that that's such a popular
Yeah, it's
thing. That
like
it-
there's
it-
so many movies that feature a Ouija board.
there
It's
is
just
a
paranormal,
Ouija
but-
movie, isn't there? Like a
Is
Ouija.
there?
Yeah, I think
Sure
it's called.
there is.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is.
It's called
I
Ouija?
believe you. I'm not doubting it at all. I'm sure somebody has.
Yeah, there's Ouija, Ouija house, Ouija room, Ouija origin of evil.
Jeez.
But yeah, I mean, there's really not much to spoil in this one. Not really much to go, more into the
The
plot.
kid survived. Daughter sacrificed herself to save her siblings.
Which her character would do.
yes.
She was a
Because you could tell
very
she would
loving
have
of
been a
her
very good
siblings.
mother.
Yes.
She was running the show.
I really enjoyed her. I would
Oh,
watch
yeah.
her in
Yeah.
in anything else. I think
Yeah.
she did.
I think she's got a promising career ahead of her. Because I think she was 16 when they made this, so she was very young.
She just needs to eat a sandwich, man.
She was
very
skinny.
skinny.
She was very skinny.
just eat a little something,
Yeah.
a little extra, but
A few breadsticks.
yeah, some carbs,
Yeah.
carbo load for
Yeah.
a week or so. But yeah, I guess that'll conclude our spoilers for Veronica. Again, not really much to talk about as far
Really
as
good horror
spoilers.
movie. Check it out on Netflix, man.
Yeah. But yeah, check us out on social media, and we'll see you guys next week.